Beyond the Gate spoilers for the week of September 15th and 19th note that Leslie Thomas and Ted Richardson will share a romantic evening, while Bill Hamilton catches his wife, Hayley Hamilton, with Thomas Navarro. The BTG promo video for the next 5 days has dropped, and it opens with a clip of Danny Dupree and Andre Richardson sharing drinks. She chooses napkin A, and it's clear that the twosome is deciding to go on an impromptu trip. Andre's written down 2 destinations and folded them, and Danny's choice results in Vegas. As they celebrate their impending vacay, Danny states, "Life goes boom," as Andre replies, "We go boom." As scenes shift, Martin Richardson is shown next with Bradley Smitty Smith in their home. The two are sharing a moment, as Smitty relays that, just now, felt like old times again. He goes on to say, "Like the man I fell in love with," as Martin notes. But it's not enough, is it? The Beyond the Gates preview progresses, and fans see Hayley sitting on a chair in her living room, dangerously close to Tomas. As he's talking, she notes that she's never seen this side of him before, and she likes it, just as she places her hand affectionately on his arm. Of course, Bill walks in on the two and doesn't look pleased. The next clip reveals a disheveled Ted looking glazed over, walking into his hotel room as an upbeat Leslie asks him to, "Come over here and help me with this." She's lightly pulling him to the bed with his tie, as he stumbles along. The scene quickly shifts to one of Anita Dupree clicking wine glasses with Nicole Richardson at the Dupree mansion. Nicole states, "To knocking down that scheme, and praying that Leslie hasn't already thought of another idea to screw with us." The final clip is of Leslie and Ted in bed together, in the dark, seemingly after they've done the deed, as Leslie tells Ted, "Wakey, wakey, teddy bear." Beyond the Gates spoilers remind fans that these previews can be a bit misleading. So will Leslie and Ted hit the sheets next week? Or could this all be a dream? After ensuring Bill's persistent wife isn't with him, Danny allows Bill to join her table as she waits for her breakfast companion at the country club. They worry over Chelsea while, in her bedroom, Naomi tries to bolster her sister's confidence. Naomi encourages Chelsea not to give up her influencer career out of fear, thereby giving Allison power over her. At the hospital, Andre gets a "Where are you?" text from a hungry Danny. He types on his phone and then asks Ashley about Derek, who eavesdrops from his wheelchair behind them. Derek leaves after Ashley states how awful it would have been for him had she and Andre coupled up. What he doesn't hear is that she's been reminded of why she fell in love with him in the first place, but it's probably best he missed their wistful talk of how she made Andre want to be a better person, and how he changed Ashley's perspective on life. When Ashley visits Derek in his hospital room, he stays mum about what he overheard. What he does discuss is the blessing in disguise that his accident was because it brought them back together. Ashley brings up alternate universes and what-ifs, but the only world Derek wants is the one with her in it. Ashley doesn't quite seem to share the sentiment as she pastes on a smile and goes back to work. Back at the club, Bill and Danny share close moments discussing their daughters until she accuses him of using her to keep from going home. She suggests he bring his wife jewelry for telling her to stay out of family business during Chelsea's kidnapping crisis. They laugh over Danny's motto, "If it doesn't cost a week's salary, the apology wasn't sincere," when Andre shows up. "You're in my seat." Bill bristles and exchanges tense words with Danny and leaves. Eva interrupts Tomas and Kat getting their flirt on at Orphe Jean's. She tries to apologize for Leslie trying to buy a house close to Kat's family, but Kat will hear none of it. When an exasperated Eva moves to a booth, Tomas calls Kat a mean girl, which leads her to double down on the vitriol she spews about her half-sister. "Take your pity for that basic bitch and choke on it," Kat declares before storming out. Ashley hightails it to Orphe Jean's to confess to her mother she can't shake the electricity between her and Andre. Derek is what she thought she always wanted, but Andre makes her consider a future she never imagined. Her mother makes the case for the sure thing versus potential, even if that potential sets Ashley's mind on fire. Samantha brings a cute and charming boy to Chelsea Cat headquarters to work on an English project, which she's basically already done for the both of them. To show his appreciation, He invites her to one of his and his cousin's exclusive events they throw as a side hustle. Free of charge, of course, and VIP treatment, but it'd also be a boon for them to have a model on site. Plus, they could hang out in a different environment together. Kat comes home to find Samantha kissing her classmate and promptly kicks the boy out. Kat chastises her niece, who begs her not to tell her dads. Kat agrees, but declares this can never happen again. But it does immediately when Samantha invites the boy back over. If you're wondering where Aunt Kat is, well, she returns to Orphe Jeans after Samantha says she reminded her of how her pop can get sometimes. Kat stands in the doorway and observes what the audience has for weeks, Tomas and Eva's developing bond. He tells her what a good person she is and takes her hands in his, which is when Kat makes her exit, unnoticed. Bill awkwardly settles his towering frame onto a low footstool in Naomi's bedroom. As he gets caught up on his daughter's lives, he states he's going to be so involved, they'll be begging him for space. Chelsea and Naomi share knowing, sisterly grins. In his hospital room, Derek presses his fist into his thigh when Ashley returns. He tries to tell her something she'll never believe, but she has something more urgent to say. Everything always leads her back to him. He is where she belongs, and she wants to build a beautiful, meaningful life with him. She gets on one knee and asks him to marry her. As the episode began, Bill brushed off Hayley's offer to go with him to see Chelsea. The missus, predictably, didn't take it well. She was pissed about, everything, including how her spouse had acted like she was in the way during Chelsea's abduction. "I'm not invisible, and I won't put up with y'all pretending I don't exist," she said. Bill's response? "I don't have time for this right now. Enjoy the couch, bro." Later, Hayley laughed when Caroline asked if she'd seen the new Chelsea Cat collection, as if anyone would show the OG Fairmont Crest Outcast anything. The way Hayley saw it, she was caught between a rock and a hard place. She either rolled over and put up with her second-class status, thereby letting Danny win, or she complained and seemed insensitive. Caroline had a very different take. A commercial break or two later, she was calling someone, we didn't know who at first, to come over and play a role in her and Hayley's scheme. Which was what, exactly? Hayley was going to pretend that she was attracted to someone else in order to make Bill jealous. Who? Thomas? Us? Hayley lied to him that she wanted his help in planning a surprise party for Bill. As the episode ticked down to its ending, Hayley already seemed to be getting cold feet. Caroline assured her that she didn't have to go through with then, but if she did, don't think of it as lying, think of it as performing an experiment with Bill as the subject. Over coffee with Vanessa, Danny marveled that somehow she and Bill had come together and gotten themselves through the Chelsea ordeal. The whole thing had reframed Danny's feelings about how easily her ex had walked away from their family for Hayley. If this connection that we've found can be maintained, Danny mused, it might be the one silver lining of their daughter's kidnapping. Meeting Doug at Orphe Jeans, Randy broke it to his pal that he couldn't be part of his plan to bring down Joey. "No prob," said Doug, disclosing that he'd decided that he didn't have to rat out Joey after all. What had changed? Vanessa had told Doug that he hadn't lost her and had put an end to her fling with the mobster. "Be careful then," Randy warned. "An angry Doug is a dangerous one." Just then, Vanessa showed up at the casino. Theoretically, she was there on business, and to plead with her ex-lover not to kill her husband, and to make sure things weren't awkward between the two of them post-breakup. The reality, as Joey guessed, was that she was as addicted to him as he was to her. Next thing we knew, they were about to have wall sex when in walked Doug. At Chelsea and Kat's, the former shocked the latter by announcing that she was deleting all of her social media accounts. Kat suggested beefing up security instead, but Chelsea wasn't having it. She had come to see that her career as an influencer had been dangerous from the jump. "Are you saying," Chelsea asked when Kat kept pushing, "that our business is more important than my mental well-being?" "No," Kat insisted. "But how else are they going to sell all those purses?" Arriving on the scene, Danny insisted that it wasn't Chelsea's social media that had attracted Allison. It was her radiant self. Chelsea could retreat if she wanted to, Mom told her. But she also reminded her that Duprees don't hide, and pointed out that her fame could help her do some good in the world. When Bill arrived, the ladies announced their plan to incorporate an anti-violence message into their handbag business. Of keener interest at that moment was the fact that Bill accidentally called Danny Babe. "You're starting to sound like my parents again," Chelsea said, "and it's really freaking me out." As they explained how they'd called a truce, sheesh, the sparks that flew were so bright, they could have blinded Hayley. Though Chelsea wasn't ready to altogether let Bill back into her life, she assured him that he would always have a place in it. When Bill asked why his daughter hadn't told him about Madison, he also assured her that love is love, and he didn't have any problem whatsoever with Chelsea's relationship. At the hospital, Derek, excited about the tingles he was keeping to himself, tried to dissuade Madison from even examining him. Not sure what game he was playing, maybe pretending to be hopeless to keep Ashley by his side, serving up TLC as well as ice cream? Also, not for nothing, but how did we wind up back here when Derek was so much better with Shanice and Ashley, with Andre? Anyway, as the episode neared its conclusion, Derek came this close to telling Ashley that he was starting to have feeling again. But at the last second, he opted to keep his lips zipped. Last we saw of him, he was engaging in his unique punching his legs form of therapy. Whatever works? Here are your Beyond the Gates spoilers for next week. Here's a look ahead at the episodes we'll see from Monday, September 15th to Friday, September 19th, 2025. "You still haven't told me where we are going, lover boy?" Danny asks Andre. "Good question." Andre starts to write on 2 napkins and urges Danny to choose between A and B. Danny loves this game and readily chooses place A. Andre turns over the napkin and reveals the word Vegas, exclaiming, "Vegas, baby!" Danny's face lights up and she says, "Black goes boom," to which Andre replies, "We go boom!" Martin and Smitty are standing in their living room alone, and Smitty reveals to Martin that it's beginning to look like old times and like the man he fell in love with. A worried look passes Martin's face, and slowly the smile fades. Martin asks Smitty, "But it's not enough, is it? Can Martin and Smitty really put the past in the rearview mirror? Or has it just been too much for either of them to go back to how it was?" Hayley really is playing a dangerous game here, and Tomas has no idea what's about to go down. Hayley and Tomas are at the Hamiltons' mansion, and Hayley tells Tomas that she hasn't seen this side of him before. And he raises his eyes to meet hers as Hayley continues that she likes it, with one arm on his shoulder and his other hand in hers. With impeccable timing, that's the moment that Bill walks into the room and sees this scene before him. His face says it all. Just what the heck is my wife up to? Ted is at the threshold of the room as Leslie grabs him by his tie and pulls him in her direction, saying seductively, "Come over here and help me with this." At that very moment, Anita and Nicole are toasting with martinis to knocking down Leslie's scheme and hoping to heck that she doesn't have any more to mess with them. In the next scene, we see it's dark and Ted is in bed with Leslie, her head on his shoulder. With a smile as bright as Christmas, Leslie says, "Wakey, wakey, teddy bear." Ted's face is one of shock. He can't believe what he's done, and neither can we. Stay tuned, soap fans, as another week of soapy drama and big moments is coming after the weekend. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday, September 12th, hint that Catherine "Cat" Richardson will see something she doesn't like, while Samantha Richardson schemes. It sounds like Cat will be upset when she sees not one, but 2 different duos in a close moment. With Hayley Hamilton's new plan to make Bill Hamilton jealous, and seemingly using Tomas Navarro as a pawn, does Cat peep a moment between them? Then again, she could catch Eva Thomas bonding with the lawyer, as the friends continue to get close. Regardless, that scratches off couple number 1. But who will be the second couple Cat catches getting a little too close for comfort? There's always a chance that Cat sees her mom, Nicole Richardson, flirting up a storm with Dad's business partner, Carlton Fitzgerald. Cat would love nothing more than for Nicole to reunite with her father, Ted Richardson, so seeing her mom move on with another man could rub her the wrong way. Speaking of scheming, BTG spoilers note, Samantha will be up to no good during the September 12th episode, too. Samantha is a pretty good kid, so it sounds like she'll use her powers for good and not evil. The last time she hatched a plan, it was to bring her two dads, Martin Richardson and Bradley "Smitty" Smith, together. So during Friday's show, she'll likely do the same. Finally, Ashley Morgan will make a bold move during tomorrow's episode. As Beyond the Gates fans know, Derek Baldwin is lying about his progress, so this has to be linked to him. What kind of bold move will Ashley make on the firefighter? Derek claims he has no feeling in his legs. However, he started to gain some feeling during the Wednesday, September 10th episode. As he's lying because of the attention he's getting from Ashley, Derek is only digging a hole for himself at this point. Beyond the Gates spoilers remind audiences that all secrets that eventually come out in the land of Fairmont Crest. So this is a recipe for disaster on Derek's part. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday, September 12th indicate some bombshells on the horizon in Fairmont Crest. Catherine "Cat" Richardson is upset by what she sees, while Samantha Richardson schemes and Ashley Morgan makes a bold move. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday, September 12th hint that Cat will be upset when she sees two different duos in close moments. Who could these twosomes be? One of the two is likely Eva Thomas and Tomas Navarro, as they have been bonding a lot lately. But who could the second be? Ted Richardson and Leslie Thomas, perhaps? Or possibly Kat's mom, Nicole Richardson, and Carlton Fitzgerald? Only time will tell. Across town, Samantha will scheme, so does this have to do with her dads? After all, the last time she plotted a plan, she aimed to bring Martin Richardson and Bradley "Smitty" Smith together. Smitty and Martin hit the sheets during the Wednesday, September 10th episode, but Smitty made it clear that Martin still had to sleep on the couch, and their reunion was not solidified. Will Samantha do something drastic to ensure her two dads come together for good? In other news, Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday hint that Ashley will make a bold move. Will this have to do with Derek Baldwin? Ashley feels quite guilty about Derek's condition and still has feelings for her ex. Will she agree to a reunion with the firefighter in light of recent events? With that said, Derek is making progress and did feel something in his legs during the September 10th show. Unfortunately, he lied about it during the Thursday, September 11th episode. Would Ashley make this bold move if she knew the truth? Beyond the Gates. Spoilers for Monday, September 15th, 2025, show that Derek has a big decision to make. This choice could affect his future. Derek has a big decision to make concerning his future. Does this have something to do with Ashley? She tossed Andre aside after she realized that she didn't want him. She wanted another shot at love with Derek. But what does Derek want? Does he want to go back to Ashley, even though they don't belong together? Their apparent issues are what broke them up in the first place. But the BTG breakdown already suggested that Derek is sitting on a throne of lies. Shockingly, he's not the goody two-shoes he claims to be. Will he have to decide between confessing the truth and telling a lie? Meanwhile, Vernon will be spurred to spring into action to thwart an interloper. Just when you thought the drama was done, there's something else bothering the Duprees. They just got Chelsea back home and safe. Allison was sent to jail where she belongs. Hopefully, she doesn't escape. But again, this is the soap world, so anything can happen. Eva has been hard at work taking Leslie's side lately, but now she's going to see her father in distress. This could change her feelings about him. By the way, Eva has been getting a lot of hate lately, and it's not from Fairmont Crest. She got backlash from the fan base. BTG star Amber Michelle had the best response to the Eva haters. June is taking on this next stage in her life. Her new job will have her doubting herself. She was found homeless. Now, she has a family and a new job. We're interested in seeing where her storyline will bring her. Hopefully, she will get a handle on her new job. Beyond the Gates fans know Carla Mosley for her formidable turn as Danny Dupree, but she first made waves in history on The Bold and the Beautiful as Maya Avant, the soap's first trans lead character. The storyline that introduced a new element to Maya's identity came years after Mosley made her debut. It shifted Maya's backstory and placed the daytime drama into uncharted territory. It also changed the actress' life. Mosley opened up about playing Maya on September 9th's episode of the Soapy podcast, hosted by Greg Ricart and Rebecca Budig. When asked what she learned from having roles on 3 major soaps, she took a moment to reflect on how they've shaped who she is as an actress and woman. She got her start on Guiding Light as the pre-med student Christina, who would later marry Remy Boudreau. The actress referred to it as her baby role because she was learning about the TV business at the time. It's given her a lifelong friendship with St. Victor. Danny has allowed Mosley to play so much with the material written for her. She described the diva as 360, acknowledging the totality of the space Danny embodies in herself and the world. Danny is a role Mosley admitted she couldn't have played 10 years ago, but becoming a mother and fully embodying who she is now gave her the experience to play her. However, it's Maya who seems to have made the greatest impact on Mosley personally. When speaking about what she learned from the character, she shared the following. Maya, it makes me emotional. That storyline of her disclosing that she's trans was so powerful and just changed me in so many ways. I always reference Janet Mock's book, Redefining Realness, which is what I read and sort of used as my Bible during that time. She spoke not only as a trans woman, but also as a Black trans woman, just about what it means to be real. It had such a profound impact on me. My life, my relationship changed. Everything changed as I began to step into and experience through Maya what it means to be real, and what it means to say out loud, I never thought I could be loved as I am, and to have someone then love her. So that was just a beautiful, powerful experience. As a cisgender woman, Mosley knew it wasn't entirely appropriate for her to play Maya, but she also knew the story wouldn't be told if she declined the storyline when it was offered. It was 2015. While trans people, particularly trans women, were in the spotlight because of Janet Mock, Laverne Cox, and Caitlyn Jenner, storylines featuring trans characters in prominent roles were few and far between in the media. It was early days in the gains for trans representation, which is why Mosley believes she didn't receive much pushback for the role. She also credited being clear that she didn't have all the answers, directing folks to those who did, insisting trans actors be a part of the storyline, and making a point of going on Mock's MSNBC show, So Popular, to talk about her experience playing Maya. Mosley mentioned Cox saw her talk with Mock and seemed to give her seal of approval, which meant a lot to Mosley, and she hoped to the trans community too. Though Carla Mosley has no intention of reprising the role, Maya Avant was a career-defining character, the first of what will so far make 2 history-making portrayals in daytime soaps. Mosley will make her return to B&B this fall in a crossover with BTG. It was a scheming and scandalous kind of Thursday on Beyond the Gates. In the September 11th episode, Derek chose to keep his secret to himself. Hayley and Caroline created a way to make Bill jealous, and the Vanessa/Joey breakup didn't last long. It doesn't look like Doug's vow to drop his vendetta against Joey will last long either. Plus, Chelsea decided that removing herself from the spotlight was the way to go. Hero firefighter Derek decided to channel his inner supervillain. He didn't tell Ashley, Madison, or Shanice that he's starting to get the feeling back in his legs. When this blows up, he's going to see the back of Ashley, who will run to Andre for support. This isn't like him. We'll see how long it takes for someone to suss out his secret or for him to fess up. Right now, he's choosing to look all determined and strong as he crushes his PT. But this move will only cause hurt and disappointment in the long run. So, what's going on with Doug? He and Vanessa have had an open marriage for years, although since BTG started, we have only seen Vanessa exercise this option. Meanwhile, Doug has gambled and quit his job and looked kind of pathetic as he tried to go up against Joey Armstrong. But he told Randy in Thursday's episode that he dropped his vendetta against the casino owner. And he's talking like he wants a real marriage with Vanessa. He was happy that she said she broke up with Joey. However, Randy knew that was easier said than done. Doug shows up at the casino, and there Joey and Vanessa are in each other's arms. What will Doug do now? Should we worry about Doug? Did you see that smug look on Joey's face? Well, to be fair, Hayley and Bill's assistant, Caroline, devised the plan. Hayley is still making Chelsea's kidnapping about herself. She says she understands what Bill is going through, but that's debatable. Caroline and Hayley decide to suck Tomas into their scheme, although he's unaware of what's truly going on here. Under the guise of planning a birthday party for Bill, Hayley will get close to Tomas and make Bill jealous. Is this going to backfire? It's only natural that Chelsea wants to delete all of her social media accounts. She also feels like she doesn't have the energy to do much more than lie on the couch and let her parents console her and make her feel safe. Safety was taken away from her, and she feels like a big part of that was her social media presence. Will Chelsea go through with it? Or will she instead do what Danny and even Kat suggested? That she use her social media presence for good, not for shallow reasons. Creating a special handbag with proceeds going to an anti-violence organization is a good idea. What did you think of the Thursday episode? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Beyond the Gate star, Ambir Michelle knows fans are talking about Eva having Leslie's back on the CBS soap. Despite everything Leslie has done to her, Eva has a soft spot for her mama, something fans aren't here for. Michelle took to Instagram to promote BTG's return from another week of reruns. The cast and crew were also back filming the show after a much-needed hiatus. In a video, Michelle was on fire, showing off her dancing skills as she shared a message about Eva. POV, you ride for your mama and they don't like it, was written across the footage. Michelle kept her caption light, but addressed the Eva of it all. How I feel because new episodes of Beyond the Gates SCBEs are airing this week and we're back on set TTTPS. Not too much on Eva now, she wrote. The actress got support from her on-screen dad, Keith D. Robinson, in the comments, who was like a proud papa calling her one of Ted's kids. Michelle hit him back with the reply, "They mad about how I came at you TV, Dad," only to have Robinson remark, "Yeah, I was out of line a little bit, lol." Daphne Duplay was also spotted in the comments. She just left several smiley faces with red heart eye emojis. Meanwhile, Sean Freeman popped in the comments to tell Michelle, "Hit dat, shacks, sets." Michelle responded to him with, "Aye." The Instagram post left many fans crying and expressing their love for Eva and Leslie. Other fans stood by their claims that Eva was making us mad. One fan let Michelle know, "Your character and Leslie's make the show." What do you think of Eva riding for Leslie? Sound off in the comments section below. The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday, September 12, 2025, suggest that Samantha is up to no good. She's scheming once again. Samantha is up to her old ways once again. BTG fans love it whenever Samantha schemes because she's just so good. She encouraged her parents to reconcile, and surprisingly, it went well. So, what's Samantha up to this time around? Is it someone else who has her scheming? Is this plan about doing some good? Or is she mostly focused on herself? Normally, when someone schemes, it means they're up to no good. This new plan could cause her more trouble than it's worth. The BTG spoilers also suggest that Ashley will make a bold move that will shock everyone. Her love life has been messy lately. She threw Andre aside for another shot at love with Derek. Ashley and Andre could find themselves back to where they started. Maybe this is the point where she'll make a bold move, which could complicate matters. Apparently, it could create shockwaves across Fairmont Crest. What could she do next? Meanwhile, Kat spies two duos in close moments, and she's upset by what she sees. This will leave her in emotional turmoil. When a person sees something they don't like, they're bound to get revenge. Kat isn't going to be the type who lets this moment slide. She's bound to say something about it. This could lead to a very messy and complicated situation. On Monday, September 8th, CBS announced a crossover between Beyond the Gates and The Bold and the Beautiful. These two will cross paths, which could complicate matters with his already messy love life. Currently, on B&B, Ridge called off his engagement to Taylor. In a rash decision, he realized that he still loved Brooke, who nearly lost her life in Naples. Upon leaving Taylor brokenhearted, Ridge surprised Brooke with a rose and a proposal. The two are now planning their upcoming nuptials, which are far from fancy. Ridge is in the mood for love, and when the mood strikes, you can't stop him. He wanted to get married at the office and have Carter officiate the nuptials, whose own wedding might not happen. Ridge is finally taking control of his love life, but will it last for long? Meanwhile, Danny is newly divorced and dating Andre, who is younger than her, but she might realize that she prefers an older and successful man like Ridge. She was used to that kind of partnership when she was married to Bill. She will come to a startling realization during her trip to Los Angeles, which will bring her to B&B. Danny and Andre's impromptu trip together leads to shocking revelations and directs Danny toward a promising connection with Ridge Forrester in a crossover on The Bold and the Beautiful, the announcement read, per Entertainment Weekly. Could Danny realize that Andre isn't the man for her? Or could her dreams of becoming a modeling manager finally come true? Soap fans loved Bryton James' Y&R BTG crossover last month. Devin Winters showed up in Fairmont Crest to offer Anita a lucrative record deal. But it was his chemistry with Mosley that had fans buzzing. What do you think will happen with Danny and Ridge? Sound off below in the comments section. Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Friday, September 12th, 2025. With some solid reconnecting going on between Martin and Smitty, it's only natural that the rest of the family would see this as progress and want this to continue. Things are beginning to look like old times at the brownstone. In Friday's episode, Samantha schemes. Can she help her dad see what they have been missing out on and understand that they are better together? Or will she only make things worse? Something is definitely in the air, and some people are getting more than a bit close. Too close for comfort, according to Kat. In Friday's episode, Kat spies two duos in close moments, and she's upset by both. Kat was worried about Eva and Tomas, but now that would appear to be the least of her concerns, and she may have to be wary of Hayley too. Getting too close to the boss's wife is never a good idea, but as Tomas read that memo, and as for duo number 2, Ted can only take so much rejection, and if anyone's resolve is due to weaken, it's Ted's. Can Ted resist Leslie's charms? Or more to the point, can he find one good reason that he shouldn't find some temporary happiness somewhere? Stay tuned, soap fans. I have suspicions about these two scenarios. Watch for developments here. Sometimes conviction in one's action is needed, and one needs to strike while the iron is hot, and this is exactly what Ashley is thinking. In Friday's episode, Ashley makes a bold move, say,